Good day and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Mike. As many people continue to remove the debris from the cotton tree that fell down on the 24th of May, so many people have also asked me, what was the importance of this tree? So many people said this tree was just an ordinary tree, so they don't think that this tree have any importance. Well, for today's video, I will be telling these people why this tree was so important to the people of Freetown and Sierra Leone as a whole. The country tree is the historic symbol of Freetown, that the capital city of Sierra Leone. It gained its importance in 1792 when a group of formerly enslaved African Americans who had gained their freedom by fighting for the British during the American Revolutionary War. These people settled the site of modern Freetown. They were the former Black Loyalist soldiers, also known as Black Nova Scotians, because they came from Nova Scotia after leaving North America, and they resettled in Sierra Leone and founded Freetown on the 11th of March 1792. The descendants of these Nova Scotian settlers form part of the Sierra Leone Creole ethnicity today. That's one of the importance of this tree. This tree was the historic symbol of Freetown, the capital city of Sierra Leone. On May 24th, 2023, a heavy rainstorm felled the country tree with only the base of its anonymous trunk still standing. The height of this tree used to be 70 meters, that's 230 feet high, with diameter of 50 meters, 49 feet, and it was fell down on the ground on the 24th of May 2023. Who were these Nova Scotians? These were African Americans who founded the settlement of Freetown, Sierra Leone, and the colony of Sierra Leone, as mentioned earlier, on March 11, 1792. Majority of these Black American immigrants were among 3,000 African Americans, mostly former slaves who had sought freedom and refuge with the British during the American Revolutionary War. Leaving their rebel masters, they became known as the Black Loyalists. The Nova Scotian settlers were jointly led by African American Thomas Peters. Thomas Peters is known in Freetown today as the founder of Freetown. There is a school also in Freetown named after him, Thomas Peters Municipal School. Thomas Peters was a former soldier and he was joined by a English abolitionist, John Clarkson. For most of the 19th century, the settlers resided in Settler Town and remained a distinct ethnic group within the Freetown territory, tending to marry among themselves and with Europeans in the colony. The settler descendants gradually developed as an ethnicity known as the Sierra Leone Creole people. Loan words in the Creole language and the Bod Osdem. Bod Osis mean wooden houses of their modern day descendants as some of their cultural imprints. Although the Jamaican Maroons and other transatlantic immigrants contributed toward the development of Freetown, the 1,200 Nova Scotian settlers were the single greatest Western black influence. The Nova Scotian settlers have been the subject of many social science books which have examined how they brought America to Africa. Because naturally carried their culture with them, they founded the first permanent ex-slave colony in West Africa, and it was influential throughout the region. Sierra Leone was the head of the British West Africa, was the headquarter of British West Africa. So, where is Freetown in Sierra Leone? Freetown is the capital and the largest city of Sierra Leone. It is a major port city on the Atlantic Ocean and is located in the western area of the country. Freetown is Sierra Leone's major urban, economic, financial, cultural, educational, and political center. It is the seat of the government of Sierra Leone. The city economy revolves largely around its harbour, which occupies a part of the estuary of the Sierra Leone River in one of the world's largest natural deep-water harbours. Although the city has traditionally been the homeland of the Sierra Leone Creole people, the population of Freetown is ethnically, culturally, and religiously diverse. The city is home to a significant population of all Sierra Leone's ethnic group, with no single ethnic group forming more than 27% of the city population. As in virtually all parts of Sierra Leone, the Creole language of the Sierra Leone Creole people is Freetown primary language of communication and is by far the most widely spoken language in the city. As a settlement for freed African American, Afro Caribbean, and liberated Africans, slaves, their descendants are known as the Creole people. The local Timni and local people were living in villages in the land that became known as Freetown before the European arrival. Freetown is locally governed by a directly elected Freetown City Council, headed by a mayor, who is also directly elected. The mayor and members of the Freetown City Council are directly elected by the residents of Freetown in an election held every 5 years. In less than a month from now, Sierra Leone will be going to the poll and they will be electing another mayor or the incumbent mayor. The two major candidates for the mayoral position of Freetown are Yvonne Akisoya, who is the incumbent, and she is also from the main opposition party, and Mohammed Gentle Kamara. He is from the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party. They are the two major candidates for the mayoral position of Freetown. The Creoles are predominantly Christian, and the vast majority of them reside in Freetown and its surrounding, the western area region of Sierra Leone. From their mix of peoples, the Creoles developed what is now the native Creole language, a Creole deriving from English, indigenous West African languages, and other European languages. It is the most widely spoken language in virtually all parts of Sierra Leone, as the Creole language is spoken by 96% of the country's population. It unites all the different ethnic groups, especially in their trade and interaction with each other. The Creole is also the primary language of communication among Sierra Leoneans living abroad. The Sierra Leone Creoles settled across West Africa in the 19th century in communities such as Limbe, Cameroon. I used to have a Cameroonian classmate at the West Africa Insurance Institute. We spoke almost a similar way. In fact, we usually communicate in Creole. Conakry, Guinea, Banjul, the Gambia. In fact, when I was in the Gambia, the Creole is so common there. They have a tribe in the Gambia called the Akus. The Akus are Creoles from Sierra Leone. The Creoles that they do speak is the same that we are doing here in Sierra Leone. Lagos, Abeokuta. In fact, majority of the Creoles people migrated from Freetown to Abeokuta, which include Samuel Ajayi Crowther, the first Anglican black bishop. Calabar, Onitsha in Nigeria. All of these places are in Nigeria. Lagos, Abeokuta, Calabar, and Onitsha. All of these areas you will find the Creole people. Also, Accra, Cape Coast in Ghana. We have so many people, so many Ghanaian names, like you will hear Kujo, Kwame, Kweku, Kofi, Eko, Kwesi. All of these are from Ghana. And Vanado Po, Equatorial Guinea. So in all of this area, you will find the Creole people. The Creole language of the Creole people influenced other pidgins, such as Cameroonian Pidgin English, as I mentioned earlier, yeah, the Nigerian Pidgin English. So if you hear the Nigerian speaking Pidgin English today, most of them, or they do take this language from Sierra Leone, and that's where they developed the Cameroonian Pidgin English, the Nigerian Pidgin English, and the Pidgin English as a result of their history. The Gambian Creole people, or Aku people, as I mentioned earlier, of the Gambia, they are either called the Aku or the Gambian Creole people. The Sao people of Nigeria and the Creole Fernandinos of Equatorial Guinea are sub-ethnic groups or partly descended from the Sierra Leone Creole people or their ancestors. So you can see the influence of the Creole people of Sierra Leone. Some notable people of Sierra Leone Creole descendants are Davis Nikul, who was born in 1925 and died 1994. He discovered the breakdown of insulin in the human body, a breakthrough for the treatment of diabetes. Another one is Sir Samuel Lewis, who was born in 1843 and died 1903. He was the first mayor of Freetown and the first West African to receive a knighthood from the United Kingdom. Constance Cummins John, she was born in 1918 and died in the year 2000. She was an educator, politician, and first mayoress of Freetown. She was the first female mayor of Freetown. Sir Henry Lightfoot Boston, he was born in the year 1898 and died in 1969. He was the first African Governor General of Sierra Leone. Christopher Okoro Cole, he was born 1921 and died 1990. He was a Chief Justice, later Interim Governor General and President of Sierra Leone. Samuel Benjamin Thomas, he was born 1838 and died 1901. Philanthropist, entrepreneur, and one of the richest men in the 19th century Africa. Lati Hyde Foster, first female graduate of the oldest Western style university in Africa called Fuabe College. Clifford Nelson Fye, he was born 1933 and died in 2006. Author of the Creole English Dictionary and the Sierra Leone National Anthem. Andrew Jackson Smith, he was born 1931 and died 1996. He was a commander of the armed forces and head of state of Sierra Leone. James Africanus Hunting, 1835 to 1883. He was a surgeon, scientist, and political thinker who worked towards African independence a century before it occurred. Samuel Ajayi Crowther, he was born 1809 and died 1891. He was a clergyman and the first Anglican bishop of West Africa. Sir Samuel Bankole Jones, 1911 to 1981, Chief Justice and first Sierra Leonean President of the Court of Appeal. Valentine Stransa, who is still alive, he was born in 1967. He was an army officer and the youngest head of state in Sierra Leone and Africa. We have so many more, but these are the few that I will name for now. Historically, the Creole spread Christianity and their lingua franca throughout West Africa, and because of this, the Sierra Leone Creole communities existed in Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Senegal, Equatorial Guinea, and Liberia. Many Creoles traded throughout West Africa, and some settled in new countries. Liberated Africans and their colony born children in the early to mid 19th centuries, and subsequently Creoles between the late 19th and early 20th centuries who settled in Nigeria were known as Saros, and there is a thriving community there. Sierra Leone Creoles who settled in the Gambia became part of the Aku or Gambian Creole people. They make up an elite community in Gambia. Many captives returned to their original home after being freed in Freetown, as most kept their Anglicized names. They took partially new identities back to their homelands. As a result of normal immigration patterns, the Sierra Leone Civil War and some discrimination at home. Many Sierra Leone Creoles live abroad in the United States and the United Kingdom. What has been called the Creole diaspora is the migration of Sierra Leone Creoles abroad. Many Creoles attended formal and informal gatherings. A Creole Heritage Society is based in New York City with branches in places including Texas. Thank you very much for coming to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and make a comment. Thank you very much. I love you all. Bye bye.